Hello, hello, and welcome to the vlog update for December 2023. How did that happen, right? The year is drawing to close. Wow. Probably didn't need to mention that as you've probably been hearing it from everyone everywhere for the last, I don't know, 3 weeks, right? But yeah, it's been really, really amazing looking back at the past year. So this time last year, of course, I had just undergone emergency spinal surgery and was not in any kind of state to be, well, doing much of anything other than recuperating in bed. And I kind of stayed that way for, at least a couple of months, right? I was not able to work for quite a period of time, which certainly cast a bit of a spanner into the works. But one rolls with life as one can. And I'm really, really happy with how the year has unfolded from that. So the recovery from the surgery is going really well. Every day is, uh, getting better and regaining the levels of mobility and strength and um, I guess, agility that I once enjoyed. And I have, the really encouraging prognosis from my neurosurgeon that I can, you know, get back to my previous capacities and maybe even beyond. Moving forward, if I keep working at it and just be smart about how I approach movement and maintaining my body. So that is just a sort of ongoing puzzle as you know learning about ourselves is in life in general, right? And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into more and more of the movement activity that I used to enjoy. For example, I really want to start re re-exploring the movement frameworks of people like Ido Portal and Cameron Shane's Budokan, which, out of all of the different systems that I've kind of dabbled in over the years, and I've dabbled in a fair few. I used to be a competitive gymnast, and then I've done heaps of different styles of martial arts, and, dance of various flavors and all kinds of stuff. Did MMA for a little bit as well. And I've really enjoyed all of it because I find learning about our body fascinating, which I think is part of the reason why learning to sing has been so fascinating for me as well, because that's another expression of what our body is capable of, ways that it can communicate and move in the world and move the world. So, excuse me. Yeah, I think that that's going to be really exciting to continue developing. And in line with that, actually learning about the body and movement and expression, I'm also hoping over the coming months to get back into learning guitar and also start learning some proper keyboard, piano playing techniques because um, I've just basically been freestyling slash ham fisting my way through composition of everything so far. And it would be really good to kind of get a little bit of actual piano technique and theory down and understand things from that perspective as well, because that could, I think, really help streamline my musical compositions as well as my ability to to create and just explore and have fun and play. So really, really wanting to upskill in a few different sort of physical capacities, physical skills over coming months. We'll see how I go, right? Because there are only a certain number of hours in the day. And with that, of course, um, just to keep things interesting this year, I also, as I think I've mentioned previously, undertook a massive career change. And I'm really loving it. Absolutely. I honestly can't believe it that I waited so long to do this. So I've gone from being essentially a sort of office worker, desk monkey of the past. We won't say how long because it's like, oh, wow, I'm that old. I was doing it for that long. And, but I've now moved into a more sort of facilitation and education kind of career path, which as I said, I'm absolutely loving. And I am definitely wanting to do more of that and build my portfolio and activity in that sort of adult education and facilitation and just kind of lifelong learning space, because I really am over the moon that that it's finally happened, and it's going so well. There is this hilarious incident, not incident, but occasion, I guess you could say, earlier this month, where I was actually brought on board with the previous employer of mine to start delivering some courses with them. And basically, due to some onboarding delays and things, I only got access to the material that I was meant to start teaching the afternoon. So it was a Tuesday afternoon, and I was meant to start teaching the material on the Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. for a 3-day intensive course. Fortunately, it was an area that I'm quite comfortable with. It's sort of self-awareness, self-management, sort of good study habits, good work habits kind of thing, and how to organize your life kind of thing, right? And I love that stuff. And so it was probably the best topic to be delivering an emergency intensive course in, having only gotten the materials the day before. And it went so well. And not only was I delivering this material basically on the fly by the seat of my pants, right? But I was also told, oh yeah, this is also the first time we've ever offered this course to this particular cohort, this particular kind of demographic of students. So could you also contextualize it, please, to suit that specific demographic, which is new for this course? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And so I delivered it on the fly, contextualized it on the fly, and I just had such a blast. And the feedback surveys from the students at the end was amazing. They loved it. And not only did I get, fantastic feedback on the surveys, but 2 students also emailed the organization to say what a great job I did and how much fun it was to have me as their teacher. So that I will definitely consider a victory. And not only that, but also a huge confidence booster, because I basically had zero time to prepare. I went in just, sort of I guess kind of improv, really, right? Just based on my own personal background and my professional life to date, and just kind of rolling with it. And I managed to make 3 whole days of an intensive class on those subjects. Not only, interesting, but fun. And I am definitely on the right path now. I think that's the clearest sign of any, right? So really, really delighted and stoked as to keep building on that next year. But I've kind of digressed a bit from music. Hey, in terms of music, I have had, with all of that going on, I haven't probably had as much of an active year musically as I was expecting I would. I released 2 singles though, so that's something, right? I released that sort of EDM electronic dance music flavored collaboration with Ben, Present Dreams, in April, which has outperformed all of my other releases to date by far. On Spotify, it's got about 11,000 plays, 11,000, 11000. That just blows my mind. Like, thank you, internet bots that scraped it and put it in playlists and put it in front of people and, connected it to their ears, because that is just amazing and so encouraging. And the other single of mine that I released this year, of course, was Midday Blue, which was my little acoustic electronic kind of hybrid, which had these amazing guest performances on piano from Emily Sine, my vocal teacher, as well as Paul Wire on acoustic guitar, who is also known as Venturi Music. And really, really excited with how that one's gone as well. It's a totally different flavor from all of my other stuff, and it's been so well received. So massive thank you to everyone who's, supported and given things a listen and shared it around to people you think might be interested. It really does help, and it's so soul fortifying, really, to see it getting out there and being enjoyed by people, which is what it's all about, right? So massive thank you again. And actually, that reminds me that I also wanted to mention, as some of you might know, especially if you're Australian, the wettest 100 listener voted Australian releases of 2023 is coming up. I think voting is opening at the end of December. And it is basically a sort of avenue for kind of independent or lesser known Australian artists to get their music heard by people. And basically how it works is people nominate albums and singles that were released during that specific year, so 2023 now, by Australian artists. So it's an Australian kind of, I won't say competition, because it's not a competition. It's more like an Australian kind of spotlight. I like to think of it more as of really outstanding independent Australian music that's come out over the past year. So if you haven't heard of it before, please do check out. It's been running for, it's got 2 previous years already, so last year and the year before, and it doubled in size in its second year from what I understand. So who knows how we're going to go this year with it. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it shapes and what amazing music I'm going to learn about through it, because yeah, I learned about so much new music in last year's Wettest 100. I became familiar with a whole bunch of new artists that just are mind-blowingly talented. And if you are interested in that sort of thing, I have actually collected on Spotify a playlist of all of my favorite Australian releases of 2023. There's like nearly 40. There's like 38-ish, I think, at the time I'm recording this, and all Australian, all released in 2023. And by far, like almost all of them are sort of independent, smaller scope musicians and bands and artists. So please do give it a listen if you're at all interested. I'll pop the Spotify playlist link down below. And yeah, I'm sure there's a huge breadth of genres included in that playlist also. So there's got to be something for everyone. And of course, if you would be open to voting for either of my 2 singles as well from this year, I would certainly appreciate it. But the point for me is to just share the love. And there's some really amazing talent out there in the Australian music scene. So please do give a listen to that Spotify playlist. And yeah, if you are inclined to cast an e-ballot, please do. What else have I got on here to cover? Yeah, that pretty much actually is where I'm at. I think that covers the main points for me of 2023. I will continue to create and upskill to the best of my abilities and schedule capacity, really. I would really love to release some more stuff in the coming year. I've got a whole heap of other songs kind of on the back burner in various states of completion. So I would really like to get some of those in a state to put out into the world. And I would also really love to collaborate with some more people. I think that's one thing that I've learned that I really love about creating music is creating it with people. And I'm really hoping that I will get that chance to work with people again in the coming year. I will also, in addition to all of the other things that I mentioned, I will be wanting to do over coming months and etc. Flute, getting back into practicing flute is another thing that's on that list. And I will accordingly include a little bit of another piece that I used to love when I was playing flute regularly, and I am super rusty. I thought about just sort of jumping on at the end of my little talk here and playing Massenet's meditation theme. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you next time.